Hi, my name is Colette Althouse.
And I'm Gabi Hacker.
And this is our podcast for the week of December 4th. So our first story, in the Pentagon, officials say that they'll bolster special operations forces in Iraq. The Pentagon will expand its special operations force in Iraq as part of a ramped-up war effort against the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. Defense Secretary Ashton B. Carter told a House hearing on Tuesday. A specialized expeditionary American military force would be able to target Islamic State militants in Iraq and make targeted raids into Syria. Over time, they will be able to conduct raids, free hostages, gather intelligence, and capture ISIL leaders, Mr. Carter said, using an acronym for the Islamic State.
President Obama has already authorized the deployment of up to 50 special operators in Syria to help organize Arab and Kurdish fighters there. Defense officials said the new special operators would work with Kurdish and Iraqi troops in Iraq as well as possibly Syrian and Arab troops during the targeted raids in Syria. The move appears to be one of a series of steps the Obama administration is taking to raise the pressure on the Islamic State without fundamentally altering its cautious strategy. Once intent on only using American air power to help local forces on the ground, Mr. Obama has now sent 3,500 American troops to Iraq, mostly to advise and train Iraqi troops.
Our second article is a plan to close Guantanamo Bay deemed too costly. Since before he was elected, President Obama pledged to shut down the military prison at Guantanamo Bay in Cuba.
When he first entered office, the number of detainees was 241, but after 6 years, it is now reduced to 107. President Obama signed an executive order on January 22, 2009, to close detention facilities at Guantanamo Bay within a year. Nearly 6 years later, the prison for terrorists remained open. The price tag would have been around $600 million. In May of 2009, the Democrat-controlled Senate voted overwhelmingly against allowing government funds to close Guantanamo Bay.
Our last national article is on a shooting at the Colorado Planned Parenthood. A shooting at a Planned Parenthood building in Colorado Springs killed 3 people, 2 civilians and a police officer. While the motive for the shooting was not immediately known, Vicky Coart, president and CEO of that Planned Parenthood, said in a statement that a possible cause for the shooting is that extremists are creating a poisonous environment that feeds domestic terrorism in this country. This has been one of multiple shootings during President Obama's presidency. On Saturday, he issued a statement saying that we have to do something about the easy accessibility of weapons of war on our streets to people who have no business wielding them. Our fourth article is about the LA County creating Proposition 47 task forces to help ex-offenders. Los Angeles County officials voted on Tuesday to set up 2 task forces aimed at helping residents convicted of felonies that are now eligible for reduction to misdemeanors under California's Proposition 47. This helps people who have already been convicted of felonies under the old rules that can get their convictions reduced. One county will look at how many county residents have already applied for reclassification and plan for reaching eligible offenders who have not yet done so. The deadline to apply for downgrading of charges in most cases is November 2017. LA County Public Defender Ron Brown said his office has so far handed out 16,700 petitions that succeed in reducing clients' charges under Proposition 47. A second task force will be asked to consider ways to get ex-offenders into job training programs and connect them with other services. The group will also include 2 people who have spent time in jail or struggled with homelessness, substance abuse, or mental health issues. Proposition's 47 proponents point to reduce jail and prison populations as a sign of the measure's success. They said it will save the state and counties. Proposition's 47 proponents point to reduce jail and prison populations as a sign of the measure's success. They say it will save the state and counties time and money and shift the focus from the penalizing to rehabilitating offenders. LA County Sheriff Jim McDonnell blames the measure in part for rising crime rates in the county. They say it's difficult to get low level offenders to engage in diversion programs that offer drug and mental health treatment without the hammer of potential prison time. Ingrid Archie, 34, said she was released from prison in August as a result from Proposition 47 and has since found a job working as a night staff at a homeless shelter. She said she is receiving family reunification services to regain custody of her children and has enrolled in school. It's a second chance for us, and we are willing to take advantage of it, she says. Lastly, in addition to creating the task forces, the supervisors voted to pursue more state funding for services to the ex-offenders and to commission a review by the county editor, controller of potential cost savings resulting from Prop 47.
When presidential debates were first televised in 1960, the norms included looking good and not making a mistake. Now, rather than forming an opinion in isolation, seeing real-time analysis on social media from political pundits can cement and exacerbate initial impressions. In addition, the goal is now to have a moment, or a pithy one-liner that everyone is tweeting about. The internet will be a primary way many Americans interact with the debate, so if no one is tweeting, Facebooking, or Googling about your candidate in the hours and days after the debate, you fail to move the needle. However, this can also be a double-edged sword. A bad moment can completely end a campaign. Finally, the internet has created a race to be the first to render judgment. Social media traffic for the debate is highest early in the debate, so a moment that happens earlier in the debate will be able to ride a wave of that higher traffic for longer than one that happens later. In that intense social media environment, things tend to snowball, building momentum throughout the debate.